name's Josh van Valkenburg-Gernert. I'm here with senior setter of the Hard Rocker Volleyball team, Kiley Metzger. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Just getting started, you grew up in Rock Rapids, Iowa. Talk a little bit about what life was like growing up and what initially got you interested in sports.
Yeah, so I grew up on a little farm outside of Rock Rapids. I have an older brother, two younger sisters, and my family's just been we've always been athletic, always been involved. In high school I played 4 sports, volleyball, basketball, track, and then softball in the summer, so I was always busy. And then going into high school, I'm not sure what I wanted to do for college, and I was like, do I want to play sport? I don't know, an opportunity arises maybe, I guess. But I knew that I wanted to go to an engineering school and somewhere with a good degree program. And I heard of School of Mines, and I was like, well, that's a good school. And then I kind of was like, volleyball is my sport. It's always come more natural to me growing up. I don't have to think about it. I can just play. And so that's kind of in high school. I was like, all right, if I'm going to choose a sport, I'm going to go volleyball. And so I just kind of reached out to School of Mines and kind of came about.
We'll jump back a little bit. You grew up on a farm, right? What was that kind of like?
Yeah, it's Iowa. Everyone kind of hates in Iowa, but personally I loved it. I have sheep and pigs. I grew up showing sheep and pigs at our county fair. At one point I raised over 100-some chickens as a FFA project.
Okay.
Don't recommend. Gets to be a lot of eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it was always fun. I was always out growing up outside, playing outside, helping on the farm during lambing season and stuff. So it was good.
Do you think that probably taught you leadership and responsibility at a younger age than other people who maybe didn't go through that?
Definitely, yeah. Outside, my dad would give us chores, and obviously if you don't feed the animals, it's not good. So that definitely helped. And hard work, there'd be nights we'd be out there working super late, just trying to get things done, and then I'd obviously get up and go to school the next morning.
Sure.
So figuring out that kind of balance has been super helpful into my qualities.
You mentioned playing 4 sports in high school. Was it always those 4 even growing up, or were there more things when you were younger and then you kind of cut it down?
Yeah, it was always those 4.
Okay.
I didn't start playing sports until 4th grade.
Okay.
And then we had kind of rec leagues, I guess you'd
Sure.
call it, or something. So it was always basketball and volleyball in those younger grades. And then middle school, I was able to play all 4 sports.
So you were pretty busy playing 4 sports and working on the farm.
Yeah, definitely no time off. There was 1 week of summer called a dead week, and that was no sports. Other than that, we were busy.
What was that like, and how did that help with time management and stuff that you're obviously used to now, but going into college and
Yeah,
stuff?
I had to learn real quick because obviously I can't be in 4 different places at once. And so it definitely taught me how to figure out solve my problems, because there's most times where I wouldn't be home in time to do chores, or so I'd have to talk to my sister really nicely and ask if she could do them for me, or my brother or my dad.
Yeah.
And so being able to figure out and manage and learn from a younger age of figuring out what I can handle and how much is too much, because
Sure.
I put my foot into every single thing, I think.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah. And then you mentioned you were Central Lyon High School, correct?
Correct.
What was it like there? What were some of your, I guess, best memories, and what was, your individual success and team success?
Yeah, so Central Lyon's very small. In my class, I think there was about 50 of us. So you knew everyone.
Yeah.
You knew everyone's where they lived, who their parents were. So it was really nice just having that small knit community type feeling. And then sports-wise, obviously basketball and volleyball, we went pretty far always, and it was definitely, we were a 2A school, so Northwest Iowa is very good in all sports. In those playing regionals. Sure. And trying to make state was hard. And then track, I went to track state I think every year except for my COVID year, senior year. And then softball is just kind of my have fun sport where we just play.
Sure. So among those 4 sports, when did it start to hit that volleyball was kind of the sport that you maybe liked the best, or maybe had a chance to play in college?
Yeah, I think it was my freshman year. It probably kind of hit a little more. I made varsity freshman year, so I played varsity. I was starting varsity in sophomore through senior year. And then in basketball, I just like got a varsity jersey like freshman year, kind of played a little bit, and then played varsity the rest of my career. I definitely had to like work at basketball, or like definitely had to put more time in. And I honestly, to be honest, I hate running. So I think
you were in track.
I know, I was in track, which really doesn't make sense. In track, I tried to be a thrower, but they were like, no, we need you to run. So that didn't really work out for me, so I had to run. But I think I just like defaulted back to volleyball. Just it came so naturally, and the IQ of it more. I just knew what was going on. In basketball, I had to like sit there and like think through, okay, what play is going on, or what move am I supposed to make now, and it's kind of like more difficult.
Sorry. Did you have volleyball in your family too, like parents? Do you think that kind of contributed to your maybe volleyball IQ?
Yeah, a little bit. My mom played volleyball in college. I think she also played, oh gosh, I want to say softball or basketball. I'm not sure. That's bad on me. But so she like, and then my parents actually met on this beach court in Rock Rapids. They were playing sand volleyball, like league. So like they've always, and like they always played like sand during the summer and stuff. So it's definitely been around. Some of my aunts played volleyball and stuff. So I don't know, it's just kind of always been in my family a little bit.
Yeah. And while you were at Central Lyon playing volleyball, were you a setter then too in high school, or did you switch at some point?
Nope, ever since like 4th grade or whenever I started, I've always been the setter.
So
I kind of just got thrown into it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like starting out, obviously everyone like tried out for like, what sport or position do you want to play? And I think I was like at the time the only one that was able to like set the outside, just like strong enough to set the outside.
Sure.
Helps from being on a farm. And then I just kind of like stuck with it, fell in love with it.
So did you ever like even get a chance for one match to play a different position?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I would not be good there.
You never even thought, like, maybe this one time I want to be an outside?
I don't think so. I think there might have been maybe one in middle school where we're like, all right, switch you. And maybe, I think I might have been a right side that game or something. But yeah, not
for
good.
You,
Nope, I'll stick to my setting.
Okay. And then once you got, obviously, to the point of picking colleges, you kind of already talked about it a little bit, but what stuck out to you about South Dakota Mines?
I would have to say, so I guess back up a little bit. I didn't play, my recruiting story is a little bit different. I never played club volleyball, which is like most people go to club tournaments with their club teams, and all the college coaches come there and see them and get recruited that way. My junior year was my first year club, and I was just a practice player, so I didn't go to any tournaments, just filled in extra positions if needed. So I never played. And then my senior year of high school, I made a club team, but COVID hit, so I didn't play any tournaments either. So I've never actually played a club tournament, which is kind of weird talking to my teammates because they're always like, oh, club, and I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
So I think my recruiting coordinator at the club I was at, which is Kairos Volleyball, she reached out to Mines saying, because I was interested in engineering, and they're like, here's Kiley, she's a setter, blah, blah, blah. And then they contacted me about their prospect camp during the summer before my senior year. And so I was like, at that point in my recruiting process, I was kind of like, if I don't play volleyball, oh well, like it's not the end of the world. I'll just go to college and get a degree. Yeah. And so the summer before my senior year, I came out here to the prospect camp, and I showed up and I was like, well, it's kind of my last shot. So I guess I'll just play. And if they like me, great. If they don't, oh well. And I fell in love with the culture of the team because all the girls came back to work the camp, so I got to meet them. And then just we got a tour of the campus, I think. And I just liked how it was a smaller campus, that closer feeling, which is kind of nice. And then also just the coaches and the girls on the team and the culture that they had, and just how much fun they had, and their vibe and their energy was really nice. And so I think that was kind of all right, this is the spot for me. Kind of felt like home.
Yeah, and that would have been a lot of those sophomores then who graduated last year, right?
Yep.
Tori and
Yes,
Anna and
JC, the
JC and
twins.
Deja.
Yeah.
What was it like kind of being a part of just that process early on, you know, that they kind of, I guess, set that standard because that first year they weren't very good.
Yeah.
But then that second year, I think you qualified for the playoffs right away your
Yep,
freshman year.
my freshman year.
But didn't wind up being able to play.
Yep.
So what was that kind of like, having just that success right away and then the emotions of qualifying and not being able to play?
Yeah, it's like starting in, like, I obviously I didn't really follow Mines volleyball before I came, so I didn't really know like the history and everything. And so coming in, like, they set the standard of like, we're gonna win. Like, we're gonna win games. We're gonna make it to the RMAC tournament. Like, we've never qualified it before. And I was like, oh, okay, like, cool. Like, let's do it then. And so like coming in and just like having them just like, here's the goal. This is what we're gonna do. It was like super nice just to be like, okay, I'll follow along. Like, all right, let's do it. And then yeah, qualifying, like, I still remember that game to like this day of like securing our spot and just like knowing that, and then just having all of us together and be like, we made our goal. Like, we did it. Like, we worked this so hard this entire season, and then we finally qualified. I mean, it sucked we didn't get to play, which is unfortunate, but it was good. Like, we actually accomplished something.
And then it was 2 more years after that till you got to play again.
Yes.
So what was that like, that first year and then getting back last year?
Yeah, it was like so rewarding just to be like, all right, we're actually going there. Like, nothing's stopping us. Like, we're gonna be in the tournament, and we're gonna put our name out there. Yeah, because like my freshman year when we first qualified, it was kind of different, like, because of the amount of games of COVID, like, people didn't get to play all the games. So it was like kind of weird. But then, you know, last year, it was true, like, all right, top 8 go. Like, it was a set cut deadline. We're like, okay, this is what we have to do to get in. Everyone knows. There's no, all right, let's calculate this out here. And so being able to be like, all right, yeah, we were top 8, like, we made it, and then actually playing and like, all right, we're here. We're one of the big dogs now.
Yeah. And when that happened, did you know, like, because I was paying attention to it, obviously, because that's kind of my job.
Mm-hmm.
And Lauren doubted me. I remember posting it on social media, and she was like, are you sure this is right? So did you guys know when you qualified? Because it wasn't the last game. It was,
No.
I think, the Friday before.
Yeah, we beat Shadron.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, because actually we were just talking about this the other day. We knew we had to beat one of the 2. I think we tried to like calculate ourselves, and we're like, okay, I think if we just beat one of the 2, we're in. And so we took Shadron to 5 sets, and the 5th set we like whooped them. I think it was like 15 to something. And I like remember, like, we're like, after that we were like celebrating. We're like, this is it. Like, we're in. And like, we're like, it doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. Obviously we're gonna like go try to play, you know, beat, I think it was Colorado Mines.
Yeah.
But we're like, we're in. We did it.
Yeah.
So that was so super incredible.
Yeah. And then off the court, what has kind of been, I know you've done some internships, some co-ops. Mm-hmm. What has it kind of been like, just the growth in the classroom? You know, now you're a senior, you're going to be graduating with your bachelor's in May, right?
Yep.
What has that kind of been like, and what has been some of your experiences with co-ops and internships?
Yeah, so I had an internship after my freshman year, after my sophomore year, and then this past summer. So I've had 3 internships, which has been super eye-opening for me. 'Cause, like, starting out, I was like, okay, I'm in electrical engineering, cool. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? So being able to like actually get the real-world experience, and kind of, I've been able to narrow it down each internship I've had to be like, okay, this is more of a specific job I want. Because at first I was like, okay, I just want to go in the power industry, like, but there's so many things you can do still with that. And then this last summer I was at Black Hills Energy, and it really like solidified that, okay, I'm in a career I like, or like, this is what I want to do with my life going forward, and like, this is the type of job I see myself having. So just like getting my foot out there and just being able to apply what I learned in the classroom, I'm like, okay, this actually makes sense, or like, I do know what I'm doing here. So that's been really nice.
But you're not done, right? You're going to come back for your accelerated master's. What are you going to get your master's in?
So I'm going to get my engineering management master's.
Do you know
next year?
Now, are you kind of have a dream job in mind, or are you still kind of working it out?
Still kind of figuring that out. I learned like there's in the power industry, I want to go into transmission substation design, or at least right now that's what I'm thinking.
But you can go into like the utility worlds, or you can go into like a consulting firm world, and those are two different worlds I've learned.
Sure.
So kind of like playing around and figuring out what kind of direction I want to go into.
You said transmission substation design.
Yes.
Explain what that is to non-engineers.
So your power lines that you see on like the side of the road, or like your big substations with all the equipment, basically I want to either design those, kind of like the layout, what equipment goes in, what you need, how to get power to your house, and then just like also like there's different like studies you can do on them to like make it more efficient and make the world a better place.
Okay,
so
cool.
yeah, doing that type of stuff.
You grew up in Rock Rapids, moving to Rapid City. What was that kind of transition like? Obviously it's a little bigger city.
Yeah, I'm like, this is like huge to me. Like obviously Sioux Falls is not too far away, but I always like, just went and go shopping or, go get food type thing. I never like really stayed there long. And so like coming to Rapid and like actually living here, I'm like, oh, like this is a big, big city. Even though I feel like I only stay in like one area of the town because school is like right here and my house is on the same side of town. But it's been nice just to be able to like, obviously I lived in the dorms for 2 years and kind of getting that life, and then being able to have a house now with some roommates, like it's been super nice. I'm like, this is nice. Like I enjoy this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you for one like good story, fun story, whether it's from growing up, whether it's from a bus trip, whether it's from volleyball, classroom, whatever you want.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
You gotta have a good volleyball travel
I know.
story,
I'm trying to think of which one I want to do.
Oh, okay.
Because there's quite a bit.
Tell two.
Okay, one good story. We were traveling, we were taking a bus, we were going to, I think, Denver maybe, or the Springs. We were going somewhere, I'd never know, honestly. And we got delayed for some reason, and so we were going through Denver, and traffic was terrible. Like, it pushed us back, like, I think, like 3 hours or something. And we were, like, delusional at this point, because we've been on the bus for so long. And I just remember, like, I think at one point we put Cheyenne in, like, above the cubbies, like, above where, like, all your luggage goes. Like, we shoved her up there. I think Anna was, like, hanging across all the seats. Like, we were just, like, the amount of stuff we do on that bus and, like, games we play and nonsense that happens is honestly probably the best part of volleyball, is just, like, traveling with everyone and the different things that happen.
I've heard some good karaoke stories, too, with you guys and with soccer.
Oh, that's another one. That's a good one. Soccer. So we went to Regis. We played Regis, and we had our own bus. And then soccer had their own bus, and they were playing at Regis too. Their bus broke down, and so they're like, "Can we just come back with you guys since you're in Regis?" And we're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll stay." So we stayed, watched their game. We had Chick-fil-A, which was always nice. We watched their game, and then we all got on the bus, and we were like 2 by 2 by 2, like it was packed in there. And soccer does this like tradition where any new kid on the bus has to sing karaoke. So we had a little karaoke battle between us and soccer. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think we won, fair and square.
I don't think many people would fight that.
But it was a super, like that was another late night too. I think at one point, I slept on the floor in between like everyone's legs, and like someone was like on the other side of me, and like it was a crazy trip. But it was actually like, it sucked being packed in there because we're used to like, getting our own row basically, because there's only 20 of us.
Yeah, you double your...
But it was really fun, and then it kind of like grew our relationship with soccer, and we're definitely a closer team now with them, and kind of got to know them a little bit better.
For sure. Back, I guess, on a more serious note, going into this weekend, obviously your first 2 home matches of the season, what are you kind of looking for, in terms of improvement over what happened last weekend, and then what are some of your goals for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we still haven't played in our conference, because obviously we had first conference game last weekend. We're still like we're not playing our game to our level, like Hard Rocker Volleyball. And so I think this weekend we're just gonna come out and have our confidence, have our swagger of this is who we are, like this is Hard Rocker Volleyball, to go get 2 wins this weekend. I think it's just kind of like what we missed last week because it was first conference games versus, you know, everyone's a little bit nervous. We have a lot of, you know, new girls that was like, that's their first time playing a conference game, which matters a little more than just non-conference. But our goals for the season, we're going to make the RMAC tournament. We're going to be top 5. And then, you know, last year I think top 5 made the NCAA tournament too. So it's our other goal is to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time.
Those are good goals, for sure. For sure. I hope you get them. Just last couple questions. First one is, you know, once you graduate, once you are done playing volleyball, what do you hope to, like, as your memory, or as your legacy, I guess, when you look back on your time here?
I would say to, like, make an impact, like have like my name remembered of, you know, whether that's on the volleyball court or, you know, in the school, but just like, you know, making connections with people and like having an impact on them and like being able to, like, you know, teach others and like kind of leave like a legacy like that.
And last question, what would you tell a high school senior who was looking at a few different schools and South Dakota Mines was one of them?
I would say that here at Mines you're going to find that close, like, family community feeling, even though, like, for me personally, I came from a smaller town and Rapid City is obviously like way bigger, but it still has that like small town feeling. And then the, you know, campus as a whole, like, you know, you get to know your professors, you get to know the, you know, other faculty and staff, and everyone honestly is like doing what they can to make the most experience, like the best experience for you. And so, you know, you're gonna, after your 4 years or 5 years, whatever it takes you, like, you're gonna have a really good degree and you're probably gonna find a really good job that's gonna set you up for success.
All right, thank you so much for joining me, Kiley.
Thank you.